This is Mother's Day, May the 10th, Sunday, of course, 2015. And again, I'm going to have to leave if I can make it till I can get out of here some way. I put out all this on YouTube and Facebook and Instagram, or a lot of it, as much as I could over the past year and a half, or, well, 3 years on Facebook. Uh, I wrote a about mind control. Larry Flint of Hustler magazine was shot in Lawrenceville while I was doing the book in '76 till April Fool Day of '80 when I was filled with antifreeze and taken by a woman. I was kidnapped, and I won't get into all that right now. I was kidnapped and brought to Moulton, Alabama from Buckingham Palace in '41, and this is me. And this is a woman that had the twins. This family covered it up. They're Dempsey's. And this is a glossed over picture, let me tell you. But she had twins, Peggy and Carl, and they stole my identity when they dropped me off there. Both twins were killed by their mother, and the whole thing covered up. Till later, when I had the Hustler magazine and he furnished me a car, I drove up to Lexington, Carlisle, Kentucky, where this is next to the youngest child. They're deceased now, but one. And she, it looked like I had a lot of support then. I had the car, and I had the Hustler magazine, and I had a little bit of money. So she confessed then to me that she knew about my kidnapping, my real name, and that her mother, this woman, had told them to cover it up because Lionel would have faced the death penalty, gas chamber in Alabama. This is near Huntsville, and that has a lot to do with the ransom money and everything. But I want to get into this. I found out in '83 after then, and the Brits told me, this is Wallace Simpson, who history would tell you married my father. That's a lie. She's an American spy. They made a big deal about her being twice divorced, and this is not my father. This is a look-alike, a double. My father was married to, and I don't have my mom's picture, the sister to Claudia, my mom's Claudia, Ruth O'Keefe, married to King Edward VIII, my father, not, you may ever marry this woman. So history's been nothing but a bunch of big lies. Georgia O'Keefe is my aunt, and she's an artist, of course. And I wanted to read just a couple of things. There was a 99-year seal put on my dad's illegal takedown. And, I mean, how blatant can you get when you can have history say my father married Wallace Simpson when that's a total lie. He's married to my mom. And she was a school teacher, by the way. But they made up all these lies, and believe me, they made them up on me, too. I mean, this is just pages that was given to me by somebody about the lies and the seal. My own Uncle George had kidnapped me and illegally take down my dad. And, of course, that whole lineage is a fraud. They're illegal, Elizabeth and a whole bunch of them. They get into, this has been folded, and I can't really tell all of it that it says, but I mean, they have just made a sham out of my father. It's nothing but lies. They made up, at this time, Wallace was still married to her second husband, Ernest, but she had already set her cap for the future King Edward VIII. So her affair with Trundle, so they're going on about her, and they make my father look like a fool. My father was a beautiful, decent, honest man, and that's why the New World Order, which is the Jews, Rockefellers, Rothschilds, and Bilderbergers, and my own uncle, and the Kennedys. He was ambassador, Joe Kennedy was, sent there by President Roosevelt. Now I wanted to get, so I'm the legal heir to the British Crown, Victoria II, and they kidnapped me, and what they've done to me also, they did to Great Britain, but what they've done to me and my sons Mark and Scott, this is Mother's Day, and I have had no knowledge of where my sons are not too long after the antifreeze was put in me. So you can see they were 19 years old and 18 at the time, about that. So that was back in April Fool Day of 80s, and I have no idea where they are. I want to say this, and it makes me, they've done to me a little bit of what they did to my father, and it's total lies. They're still doing it. Uh, in '86, after I'd done this book on mind control murders and programming and all that, and Larry McDonald, Congressman, MD from Piedmont Hospital in Atlanta, was a subject in the book. It was a bunch of them. So it was loaded, and with people's names, and I thought that's why everything bad was happening to me and my sons. Well, I found out later it's who I am. I mean, that was enough to book, but I came up, I'm going to skip, even after I had the antifreeze in me, was illegally taken across the state line. I should have died, gone to coma and died. It was a walking, living hell, and trying to pretend nothing was happening, because this woman, Lana Dempsey, was trying to use the system to kill me again, to shut me up. And my ex-husband had my apartment, and my sons, they never knew the truth about any of this. But I came up here in '86 because I'd been shut down and the car was gone and I couldn't get back to Larry Flint. They took his power of attorney and put him in Butner and tortured him. But anyway, he told me the last time I was out there twice during the political campaign to replace Larry McDonald in '83. I was there in October. Last time I was out there, he said to me, "There's no room in the inn, I-N-N." And I wonder about that now. That was the last time I was out there, because I've been deliberately kept homeless. And I'm allergic to chemicals and have an immune disorder. And it really, over the years, has caused inflammation, because where I've been, they get to the maintenance, they get to the owners. If you're just hearing me tell this on the video, you get no sense of what really has gone on and happened, and how people will break the law and hate you because you stand there begging and telling them what's going on, which they already know. So you see how this makes me sound, unless you start hauling, I'm going to say this on here, and I hope I don't get cut off, hauling ASS's up before a court and make them accountable. So anyway, under oath. They've got me now to where I've lived on the Appalachian Trail, and in comes and they did it on Larry Flint's birthday, one of them on, or not birthday, the day he was shot, March the 6th of 78, when I was doing the book, by the way. I was in Marietta, and he was shot in Lawrenceville. But they'll do it on certain dates, which ties the timeline and back to the murders that I've been talking about, because they're still going on. I just watched CNN, and they totally know all this. CNN had a night long about the Timothy McVeigh, but they called him every name in the book. He was programmed. He even told everybody he had a chip, that the Army put a chip up his buttocks. So the Virginia Tech was like that, the 33, and the Aurora, Colorado, where James Holmes is held being tried for murder. And he's not mentally ill. He's being, quote, treated, tortured for mental illness. And mind control and programming has to be stopped. That has nothing to do with mental illness. So anyway, there was a bunch of them over the years that CNN had on that a couple of nights ago, Friday night. And I wanted to, and this is going to go off in a minute. I'm showing my bedroom. I'm so sick and everything. I'm surprised I can talk. But anyway, since I came up here in '86, I've lived on the Appalachian Trail. And I've really had a rough life. People really treat you different when you're in the situation I'm in, especially if you're telling things that the United States government did. And they did kidnap me, and part of my family did, because Elizabeth really and my Uncle George had the best interest of the United States, not the British. They gave Great Britain away. just like they did me, and my dad, and my mom.